The Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
I'll be honest, I'm dragging a little bit. Mike, I've had a lot of coffee. Doesn't seem to be doing any good. So hopefully I'll be able to juice it up to provide that high quality entertainment we normally deliver for our listeners. I understand you because of a neighboring bread factory.
Yes.
You two are struggling to find some energy here.
That's right, Matt. As I was telling you, we moved into a new house, and right next door is a factory, a bread factory. And recently, with the summertime, it seems like, people are opening windows up, and right about 11 o'clock, 11:30 each night, we get the nice old sound of just pots and pans banging together. I've not been sleeping well, so I agree. I'm trying to get pumped up as well. I got my
Get your energy drink there.
Got my Koji lemon sour energy drink here. I'm getting ramped up as well. So, hey, we're the Conbini boys. We're gonna pull it out, and I think we're gonna have a great show. But all right, Matt. Speaking of a great show, as you know, 2 weeks ago we had our first ever Conbini Court, where we debated Melon pan. Is it good or bad? And naturally from that, last week we actually said, what items are overrated at the Conbini? And we each pulled up a couple of items. But Matt, I think we've been kind of in a negative phase here. I thought, this week we can pull it back into something a bit more positive, and I thought it would be a natural progression for us this week to maybe pick up some items that we think are underrated at the Conbini. So right. I think that's what we're going to do today, right?
Yeah, we've each picked out 3 here, Mike, and why don't we jump right into it? Who do you want to kick this off with?
All right, that's right, Matt. So to start it off, I thought that we could take a look at your first underrated item at the Conbini. So I'm going to throw it up here right now. So tell me what we're looking at.
Yeah, Mike, this is steam bread. Okay, steam bread is a sweet bread, and it must be steamed. It's very fluffy, it's very light, and it comes with a little paper wrapped around it that you gotta peel off. It's very satisfying. And Mike, what I love about steam bread, it's a great breakfast item. It's a great way to start your day, especially with a canned coffee, because you take a bite of that steam bread, right? It's a little sweet. You want to cool off that sweetness with a little of that canned coffee. But what's even better about it here, the steam bread is going to mop up that canned coffee, and you're going to get this absolutely luscious synergy between that fluffy, soft steam bread and that canned coffee. Now, this particular steam bread that we're looking at, this is out of Lawson. They're actually 2. They're selling 2 at a time, which is very nice, with little chicks on the top, which is outstanding because, chicky. I don't know exactly what chicks have to do with steam bread. I suppose there are eggs in them. And, frankly speaking, quite frankly, these do look like boobs, which is also, hey, it's not hurting. So, big fan of steam bread, Mike. I think it's way underrated. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, man. I know that you are a great lover of mushi pan steamed bread. Yeah. There's no doubt it's a classic, but an underappreciated classic. I would definitely agree with that. There are a lot of breads, I think, that overshadow it just in terms of their fan base. I don't think there's a huge mushi pan fan base, No. But it's something that I think all of us really, really appreciate. It's really soft, and like you said, combined with other things as well, it can be a real winner. So yeah, man, I think this is definitely underappreciated. All right, man. So going on to my first underappreciated item, Matt. This is the Goroto Kajitsu series, the mix. So let me tell you what this is. So this one, it's just basically fruit inside of jelly. And this one has like mixed fruits within it. There's like pineapple, mikan, and some other fruits as well. But I was just thinking that this is anything that falls into this category, which is like the jelly and the fruit. And, you know, I think that this gets overshadowed because it's up there in that similar zone with pudding and a lot of sweets and stuff like that. But, you know, until recently, it was rare to find organic matter, you know, in Conbini items. And I think this was one of your few choices. Now, of course, there's more fresh items as well. But I always love it. I think it's really refreshing. I think it's a nice item for lunch that acts as sort of like a fruit/dessert. And it's something I've always really liked. And I think it's underappreciated in general.
Yeah, it took me about 4 years to get into jelly at the Conbini. But no doubt, jelly is a winner. I like it in a bag. I like it in a cup. And it's a great pick-me-up, especially in the summertime when it's hot. You get a little hit of that cool jelly. And yeah, there's fruit in there. I don't know if I'd call it organic matter. It's probably been stewed in sugar for about 3-4 years. But it's damn good, that jelly. In fact, hey, I'd take the fruit out of there and just eat the jelly. I love a bag of jelly. In fact, I'm kind of regretting bag of jelly is not on my underrated list here. I got to rethink that. But yeah, I'm all for jelly in any form.
All right. Okay, Matt. So let's go on to your second item here. All right.
Next one, Mike. Yeah, I know this is going to be controversial for some of our listeners because I talk about this so often. In fact, I just talked about it. But the Georgia Beeto canned coffee, everybody. I can't take this anymore. There's a war on canned coffee, and I'm going to die on this hill. Okay? Yeah, okay, I get it. They got the fancy latte machines. You get the fresh coffee at every damn Conbini. I get it. But canned coffee's not going anywhere, everybody. And the reason is it's damn good. You get the Georgia Beeto. Again, the Beeto is mildly sweet. It's got a little sugar with a little hit of that milk. Hey, I was lactose intolerant, didn't even know it. I suffered through some pretty terrible days for 6 years. And goddamn it, I do it again because this Georgia Beeto is so good. You pair it with that mushi pan steam bread, you got your day started off the right way. So, yeah, this is underrated still, especially after that loss to Drip Coffee in the Conbini tournament,
boy.
which I'll never get over. Mike, I gotta cool off here. I need a bag of jelly.
All right. Matt, I knew when we were going to do this segment this would be probably coming up. I agree, and you know, like, I think if it was just you and me just talking, like, we would never think that this is something that, you know, like, people don't appreciate.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, I love canned coffee. You know, I think people have a short-term memory. You know, remember, like, drip coffee, and it's not even really drip coffee. Let's be honest. They're grinding the coffee on demand. This isn't like some, you know, like hand poured drip coffee. This is, I mean, it's all right. It's not great. But for a long time, this is only recently that we've had, you know, Conbini coffee. Before that, it was just canned coffee. And, you know, it was because of like how long we didn't have the normal coffee. There was so much innovation going on here. I agree. Georgia Beeto, one of the greats. Matt, totally underappreciated, and you know, I can't disagree at all.
Thank you.
All right, Matt. Okay, going on to my next one. This might be a little bit controversial, but Matt, let me tell you what we're looking at here. This is one of the great legends, and I have to say, in general, I think this is an appreciated item. I think people, you know, like this in general. This is the giant cone, Matt. This is a cone ice cream. You got the waffle cone, you got the ice cream on top, you got the chocolate on top with the nuts. There's various flavors. The giant cone, the reason I'm saying that it is underappreciated is because I think that, when you get into that ice cream section, there's so many things that sort of pop out at your eyes. They're always, there's always new things in there. And then there's also the staples as well. You've got monaka, you've got kun. And I think that giant cone sort of slips through the cracks there a little bit. But I would say that this is one of the staples. This is one of the great ones. And recently, to be honest, Mai as well, is great. I mean, spicy commentator, one of the great sweets enjoyers on this planet. Recently, every time we go to the Conbini, she's picking up giant cone as well.
Ooh,
Matt,
nice.
I love this item. And I'd just like to say to people, it's exciting to get that new item or, something like the monaka, something more sort of Japanese. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about giant cone. It's one of the greats.
Yeah, Mike, giant cone. This is one of those universal items. You go anywhere on Earth, Japan, United States, Guatemala, France, no doubt everybody's going to like a chocolate nut ice cream drumstick. It's like French fries. It's like Coca-Cola. These things are just loved all over the world. In fact, I had to talk myself out of buying the American equivalent yesterday at our local convenience store, which sucks, by the way, because doctor gave me some advice about my eating habits. So I'm trying to keep it together. Mm-hmm. But goddamn, I wanted one of these chocolate nut ice cream cones like you wouldn't believe. So nice choice, Mike.
Thank you, Matt. All right, so we're going on to our last pick here, Matt. So, all right, What do we got for you?
Yeah, Mike. This is the jumbo American dog, Mike. And,
boy.
I think most people do like the American dog. Again, American dog is a corn dog. It's a hot dog on a skewer that's been battered and fried. Mm-hmm. And I remember my first American dog, Mike. It was with, I was in language school. I was with a friend who was very smart, and she was pretty drunk. We were all pretty drunk. We walked into a convenience store, and she got an American dog. And I was like, wow, that's the last item I thought she would get. And I got one too. And I remember, I see why you're getting this. It is absolutely delicious.
Yep.
And I'm saying it's underrated because it's overshadowed by all the other magnificent items in the Conbini hot box, of course, namely Chiki and Nikuman. The American dog kind of gets lost in that mix, but it's got this wonderful, savory, sweet. It's on a stick. And then you got that laser beam ketchup mustard combo. You got your sniper rifle there, just squirting that precision sauce, ketchup mustard mix sauce on there. I don't think it gets much better. You've had a couple strong zeros or a couple Kirin tall boys. Man, I'm almost willing to say an American dog can go toe to toe with a Chiki in that situation. But yeah, I think it's underrated, underappreciated.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say in general, it's appreciated sort of like generally, but I agree. And I think also coming from the States or somewhere where they have corn dogs, there's sort of this like negative connotation.
Exactly.
There's that famous saying like, I don't go to your workplace and knock the corn dog out of your hand or something like that. You got this like, sort of like bad image of
you're imagining the Iowa fair and deep fried Snickers bar, exactly. But
you get over here and especially you think like, well, I'm at the Conbini, I don't want something called an American dog.
Oh yeah.
But don't be mistaken, this is not just your everyday run-of-the-mill corn dog. This is the Japanese version of the corn dog. This is the American dog. And it's amazing. I agree. Like the dough is really sweet. That wiener combined with that sweet dough is so good. And then like you said, you've got that precision. Oh, yeah, yeah. And then you've got that blast on top. Look at that. Just swizzled perfectly on there. Matt, I agree. American Dog is one of the greats, and I think that it deserves to be appreciated as such. No doubt.
Go out and get one, everybody.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Get out and get one. All right, Matt. Well, so this might be controversial. Matt, all right. So my last underrated item, Matt, this might be a surprise to some, as it is the winner of the first Conbini tournament, as it is loved throughout Japan and, by us especially. This is the Famichiki, and you're probably thinking, like, how could this be underrated? I mean, that's like saying, like, is Michael Jordan underrated? He's the best ever, Yeah. That just doesn't really make sense. But, Matt, this is directed at those people who, for whatever reason, have it in their head that chikis, and especially the Famichiki, is not worth trying. It's gross. Like, it's just like something to be avoided. And there is this segment of people, and I'd say to those people, get out and get your chiki. I mean, it's really the best that the Conbini has to offer. So this is maybe just like my final pitch to those people that said, I'll never have a chiki. Please do it. It's really the best that the Conbini has to offer. Matt, we love the chiki, and so many people do as well. But I don't know. Do you have any words for those people, or any thoughts on this?
Well, I guess I'm not totally surprised. It's sort of similar to my selection for canned coffee. This is more of a righteous cause here. I agree. Everybody should be eating chiki, and but yeah, it is the best Conbini item. So can you call it underrated? But you think back, the Conbini, I would say, the Famichiki, I would argue, was actually born during the Enlightenment, because what you have here is the result of all human knowledge compiled over the last 3-4 centuries to create the most perfect food product of all time. And so even though it is the greatest Conbini product that's known, is that still not appreciating its entire magnificence. Exactly. And I think that's a fair argument to make, Mike. So I'm with you. And yeah, if you haven't had a chiki, what's stopping you?
Yeah, come on.
In fact, I will say, even my mom tells me I want to go to Japan just to have a chiki. That's the kind of attitude, energy we're looking for here. Yeah. Don't go to Japan because you want to see the cherry blossoms. Call up your local agent and say, "Hey, I want to go get a chiki." Mm-hmm. That's the energy we need. So yeah, Mike, I'm with you on this.
All right, Matt. Well, that was our list of the underrated Conbini items in our mind. Everybody, just remember, to keep your eyes out, when you get in the Conbini. Don't forget about those items that sort of slip out of your vision.
That's right.
And feel free to go out on a limb and give something to try that you've never had before.
All right, and speaking of chiki, Mike, now we got to talk about the chiki wars, because we got a couple new chikis out this week. Leading us off out of Family Mart, we got to the karamucho. This is not really a new chiki. They had this last year, but it's back. Just to remind everybody, a karamucho, this is a Famichiki, but it's been like fragged, okay, with I don't know, glass. This looks incredible. Imagine a grenade went off and a chiki got hit. Okay, it's like a chiki casualty, and it's just riddled with shards, crispy shards. Mike, this looks incredible. To think that the Famichiki could get even crispier, it sounds just outstanding. But again, I wouldn't call it new. The karamucho, this has been around.
Yeah, we reviewed this last year when it came out, and it was good. It's spicy like the karamucho chips are, And yeah, I'm glad to see it out again. I will say one thing I noticed, it looked like Family Mart is having some sort of like big tie-up with karamucho. I noticed this week there were like 5 items or something that included karamucho. So I don't know what's going on there. If you love karamucho, this is your time to get out to Family Mart. But yeah, good to see you back, karamucho Famichiki.
All right, we got one more here, Mike. This is out of Lawson. We got a new karaage-kun. This is known flavor like 219. And we got a 4-cheese karaage-kun here. Where, I wonder when we're going to hit the limit on stuffing cheese types into chicken nuggets. But we got cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, Gouda, and Parmesan, the usual suspects here. Yeah. I'm not sure what to say about this one, Mike. We've said this time and time again. The more types you stuff into a nugget, there are diminishing returns. Usually, if you stick with one type of cheese, like the Famichiki cheese and chicky with the cheddar, you gave that an outstanding review just last week or 2 weeks ago. But gosh, that's a lot of different flavors, a lot of different types of cheese to stuff into a little nugget. I don't have high hopes for this one, Mike.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, and to be honest, the 4 cheese, I think of maybe during the Nice Cheese Grand Prix, there was maybe that was a 3 cheese karaage-kun. That was really good. That was a black box. This seems to be just like a 4 cheese. They said that it has a truffle shiitake. So, it's got that sort of finish of truffle. I'm not sure what to make of that.
I'm sure they're stuffing real truffles into chicken nuggets here.
Yeah, for 240 yen. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I don't know what to make of this as well. I'll get it. 4 cheese. I'm sure it can't be too bad. It is karaage-kun. But I agree. I don't know. This does not seem like it's going to be a home run. But I guess we'll just have to see.
Now, Lawson also out this week. We didn't put this in the Chicky Wars because it's a little bit different. But they also have they got the fried chicken skin with cheese stuffed under the chicken skin. So they're stuffing cheese this week. Last week it was shichimi red pepper spice. This week they're stuffing cheese under the fried chicken skin in the chicken nugget.
Oh my god! All right. Well,
so check
that's
that
a
out.
different story. Yeah, check that out. That sounds amazing. I literally started salivating, and that's not like people often say that, but like I could feel like the spit coming out. That sounds amazing. So hopefully we'll see some more of that injection technique coming back into karaage-kun at some point, but we'll see, Matt. All right. Well, hey. We're heading over now to the scoreboard, Matt. This is an interesting one this week. Let me hit you with the numbers, and then after that we can do a little bit of talking business. But all right, we got Family Mart 59 items, Lawson 32 items, 7-Eleven 103 items, Mini Stop 28 items, Daily Yamazaki 8 items, Seiko Mart 8 items, Poplar again ? More to say on that later. New Days 18 items. Matt, do you have any comments on the items, and maybe more specifically? I think we talked about some of them before the show. Do you want to let the listeners know what we're talking about here?
Yeah, we're gonna officially retire Poplar from the new item scoreboard. They haven't been able to demonstrate any new product development capability over the last 2 months, really. Or maybe they're just not posting it to their website. Their website is one of the worst out there. They could be just looking for a new intern. We're not sure what it is, but for whatever reason, they can't manage to upload new images of new products, or they're not developing new products. And so we had to make the very tough decision to retire Poplar from the new item scoreboard.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, it's just recently that they got up there. They even hit the winner's circle, I think once but I think that we were a little skeptical at the beginning because, like you said, when we were talking about Poplar in the first part, it seems that they're starting to maybe combine with Lawson.
That's right.
I don't know. I assume that's what's going on, but you know, it's sad to see. You know, Poplar, one of the greats, and yeah, but I think it was a choice that definitely had to be made, no doubt.
Gotta make it. You gotta make tough decisions sometimes.
Yep. All right, Matt. Well, we're heading on to we're heading on to our winners and losers of the week, and so Matt, as always, I think we're going to start with you, as I am doing the presenting here. Matt, what is your loser of the week?
Yeah, Mike, this is out of 7-Eleven. We talked about this a little bit back and forth via text. This is a tonkotsu soup gyoza nabe. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a bowl. A nabe is like a big soup, like ceramic bowl. This is probably plastic. And it's stuffed with these very luscious looking gyoza. And then it's got tonkotsu soup, that pork broth soup that you simmer the gyoza in. And that sounds outstanding. I would absolutely crush this. But Mike, 7-Eleven is making a claim here that you spoke about last week with great passion. This claim that Conbini items contain half a day's worth of vegetables. 7-Eleven is making that claim with this item here. And aside from a pile of spring onions that I am sure does not come with the product, I can't find a damn vegetable in this pot. No. Maybe there are some inside the gyoza, but that's surely a pork filling.
Yeah.
And pork broth, I suppose, has vegetables simmered in it. It's mostly melted back fat, not vegetables. So I gotta say, Mike, while this looks like an outstanding product here, I would crush this. This is a sham. And I pushed back on your passionate case last week, but now I'm a believer that the Conbini is pumping claims that just they got no foot. Is it foot to stand on? I don't know. Anyway, this is crazy. This is madness.
Yeah, Matt, I'm glad that you're starting to see the light here. I will say, like you said, this is a different sort of scenario than I've really seen in the past. This is making the claim, but it looks amazing. Usually, like, you know, I was saying last week, they just slap a bunch of boiled cabbage on the bottom and then, hey, half a day's worth of vegetables. But yeah, like, either these gyoza are completely vegetable. In which case, still, I couldn't imagine this amount would be the half, the recommended vegetables for a day. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It seems like a fraudulent claim. And, you know, they have the shirasu over here. You know, that is a fruit. I don't think that would be classified as a vegetable. You got that little sauce, which, again, that looks amazing with these. Oh, man, those onions looks great. So I agree. Looks amazing, but we're going to have to figure out what's going on here.
Well, actually, I didn't even notice. That sauce, they give you a yuzu kosho dipping there to wow, this is a stunning product. This would be a winner.
Yeah.
Without this ridiculous claim, this has a half day's worth of vegetables. Unless a half day's worth of vegetables is a single ring of spring onion, which I can't believe any doctor would say is true.
No, I agree. There's something fishy going on here. Maybe they just, you know, like we said, they got that intern. Maybe they just forgot to delete this, you know, this little stamp here. They were just kind of duplicating some sort of image.
Probably what it is, actually.
That's right. All right, Matt.
Well, white template.
That's right. All right, Matt. Well, yeah, great. Unfortunate loser here, but let's go on to mine, which is a true just knock it out of the park, one of the great losers. Matt, we're at 7-Eleven here. This is 7 premium squid shiokara.
Oh boy.
All right, what is that? Squid. Okay, hey, I like squid. I like some calamari, you know? No. Shiokara is one of the great mysteries of Japanese cuisine. Shiokara is basically a cuisine that involves taking some sort of organism. Squid is the most popular. You can a lot of ocean animals as well, or what do we call them? Shellfish as well are used as well. But basically, you take the guts out of the animal, and then you add in some salt, and then you add in some other stuff, but then you basically ferment that with the squid in there. And then after, a certain amount of time, I guess whenever you're feeling lucky, you just pull that out and eat it. And, this is just, I've had it. I love some of the weirder things in Japan. I know you do as well. This is one that just, it's like, it's one of those shock foods where, come over, it's like, hey, try this. And it's just awful. So, if you don't like the idea of, squid fermented in its own guts for multiple days, this says 7 days, jikuri, slowly sort of letting this thing go. And Matt, I gotta say, they're saying they recommend you to put it on top, to eat it with some daikon oroshi, some shredded daikon, and then have it with your drink, with some alcohol. Can you imagine? Oh man, had a hard day, out like building a house, come home. Oh, I'm going to have my beer and I'm going to just eat some fermented squid guts. Yeah, that just doesn't work for me, Matt. I'm not a fan. Maybe some of our listeners out there are, but this is just not for me.
Yeah, Mike, and they're not selling it. They're calling it in English salted squid guts. And it looks like a bomb went off in that bag and it's just body parts all over the place. That thing looks like a total crime scene. I agree. I do like the recommendation to serve it with daikon oroshi. That's like grated pile of daikon. In fact, I recommend keeping a whole cache of daikon nearby, just in case you run across a product like this, because it can really help it go down. So I keep a full chest of daikon ready, at the ready, just in case I need to pull it out of the old weapons cache there. Squid, it can go a lot of different ways in Japan. Dried squid is awesome. Raw squid is fantastic. But then it can go sideways like this. Also, squid beaks can be a thing, which I never really figured out. But the fermented squid here, not a great one. So, that's a classic. Also, in a bag, not the greatest presentation.
Oh, yeah. Not a good... Yeah, you get that nice yellow color sort of smushed up against there. Ugh. Yeah. All right, Matt. All right, enough of that. Let's go under winners this week. We're going over to you first, and boom. Yes,
yeah, Mike, we're heading over to Mini Stop. We got a new parfait out, and this is the Melon parfait, Mike. And what is better? We've talked about Japanese melon a lot, because Japanese melon... Again, this is sort of the pinnacle of all fruit. You have melon craftsmen who are massaging melon, who are shaping melon in weird ways, and selling melon for hundreds of dollars. Absolutely worth it, by the way.
Yes.
I'll die on that hill too. But what do we got here, Mike? We got a mini stop parfait, but I gotta say, I am shocked at how much melon is in this parfait. We got melon on the bottom. Then we got, what is that? I don't know if that's ice cream or whipped cream. And then we got more melon. And then we got the final swirl of vanilla ice cream. Mike, this is melon all over the place. And they're saying, hey, it's twice the melon, I gotta believe, as the previous parfait. Oh, no. They have two, I think they're saying. They got the normal parfait, and then you can double up on the melon.
Double up.
Oh, for an extra 150, you can double up on the melon. Holy damn moly. Mike, this looks absolutely outstanding, especially summertime. Hey, nothing more refreshing than a little parfait with some melon.
Oh my god, man! I don't know if I can really.
That is just like that thing is like squirting. My laptop's getting wet here. Just looking at this thing. I might have to unplug it.
I gotta say, Matt, I don't know if there's much more I can say except that beautiful presentation here. That melon in the background is sweating. Oh, and I'm just imagining summertime. It's nice noon summer. You're out enjoying nature. You cut open that melon.
Man.
Add some ice cream and put it into that parfait. Good God Almighty. Goroto juicy. Yeah, I'd agree. That's how I feel. The juiciness of this is really conveyed well. The ice cream looks amazing. This combination, I'm guessing on the bottom, that's like sort of, that probably like some jelly in there as well.
Oh, it could be jelly.
Oh, man, Matt, this looks amazing. Great item out of Mini Stop. Really, I mean, really just showing their power when it comes to this sort of item.
Yeah, this melon, we're looking at a slice of melon here, ladies and gentlemen. If you were to pick this up and bite into, I would recommend switching into your bathing suit before you do that. You know, just take your shirt off because it's just going to start dribbling all over the place. You're going to need a hose down after taking a bite of this melon. It is, I mean, the juiciness is outstanding. Yeah. Wow.
Yep. All right, Matt. Well, I'm going on to my winner this week, Matt. This is coming out of 7-Eleven. And, Matt, this is the Negi Mori Negi Shio Chicken Salad. All right, Matt. So let me tell you what drew me to this. So your item before also featured some negi, some Japanese onion. Matt, this is a 3-onion medley going on here. We've got the classic Japanese negi, you know, the sort of like thick and long onion. Then you've got the Japanese green onion, the thin ones. I love those with the thin and long onions. And then you got the old classic, tama negi. You got the onion as well. I gotta say, Matt, I just thought this looked really nice. I've grown to become quite a big fan of Japanese negi, the Japanese onion, especially those thin ones. And this is quite the medley going on here. That is a lot of onions. But what it is, it's also with some roasted chicken, and the chicken looks to be roasted really well. And it also has that side of some dressing as well to pour on top of here. It also has the nice tomato there sitting off to the side, and underneath you've got your salad. You got some, lettuce and carrot and stuff as well. Matt, I just thought this looked really refreshing. I've come, like I said, I've become quite the negi maniac these days, and I thought this combination together with that roasted chicken looked really, really nice. And especially, trying to watch what I eat these days, eating a little bit lighter, I thought this would be a nice lunch to have on a summer day. So that's my winner of the week.
How many lemon doughs are we into the evening here? This is, I mean, it looks good. I don't know if I'd call it a win. If you're a negi fan, you're gonna love this product. I mean, this thing is just like, it looked like a B-52 bomber flew over and dropped just negi all over this thing. A lot of onion, all types. It's got the the wedge of unripened hothouse tomato at about 11 o'clock. The chicken does look really good. It's glistening.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a nice little sheen on it. And it's just sort of scattered all over the place. And it's got lettuce on the bottom. I'm sure this is probably pretty good. I don't know if I'd call it I wouldn't choose this as a winner, but I'm not a huge, I like negi. I don't love negi. So, obviously you're a big negi lover.
I am.
You love onions of all kinds. Yes. And so, great product. So, to each their own. Okay. Nice choice, I guess, for you.
All right, Matt. Well, we can agree to disagree. But that wraps up today's winners and losers. Matt, we were both pretty, slow at the beginning to get started, but I have to say, I think we closed it out pretty well. I think we had a pretty good show here this week. But Matt, that's going to wrap us up for the week. So first off, just like to say thanks again to everyone who bought us a chickie. Crew of Japan, Jeff Bailey, and Anonymous. You can buy us a chiki as well. If you look up Conbini Boys, buy us a coffee. Sorry, Matt, what is the actual...
So buymeacoffee.com/Conbini Boys. You buy us a chiki, not a coffee, which is a little confusing, and I probably messed up how much money we could make on this podcast by making it chiki instead of coffee, because it's confusing. Kind of like we spelled Conbini with a C instead of a K, even though Google trends we learned earlier on Twitter is K is way more popular. So anyway, not to go off on a jag here, but if you're going to go to the Conbini, pick up another chiki for us and support the podcast.
Yeah, and thank you everybody again. Otherwise, if you're listening on any of the podcast apps, Apple Podcast, Spotify, leave us a share, leave us a like, and please share. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and like. I gotta say, Matt, and this is something we're going to come back. Sorry to everybody who left comments on the YouTube videos. We've actually had a lot of people subscribing recently. Oh. So really, thank you all for that. Next week, maybe we can pick up some of those comments and give a shout out to everybody. But thank you all very much. Great to see you. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You might find us mostly at Twitter, where we're most active. And if you have a Conbini memory or Conbini composition, please share it at www.anchor.fm/ConbiniBoys. Matt, great episode. Another week down, another trip to the Conbini. But Matt, for now, I guess I'll see you at the Conbini.
Hold on, I'm looking at these comments here. First one I see, Smoky Sandy on YouTube here. Before your next podcast, you should learn how to say pan. That is if you are not too busy in Cambridge. Shots fired here, Mike. We got some haters.
Okay. We got some people enjoying the things as well over there. So
yeah, we got some good people here too. But God, now I'm just gonna think about that all day and get fired up. Whatever Smoky Sandy is.
Well, Smoky Sandy, thank you for commenting. We appreciate that.
Share the podcast.
Yes. But all right, Matt. Hey, we got to close it out. I'll see you at the Conbini.
See you at the Conbini, Mike.